video for this question is because I know that a lot of people have the same questions, and so I figured if I address it one time, it's also going to help somebody else that might watch the videos later and realize they also have the same question. Good morning, Royals. I call everybody Royals because I believe everybody is royalty. Welcome to She's World. My name is Sheila, but you can call me She. In today's video, I am going to talk about a question I got from one of my videos that I posted on the form I-130, the evidence or documents that you need to attach to it. Disclaimer, I am not an immigration lawyer, so this advice that I give on this video and the information I share really is from my experience going through the process up until I became an American citizen. And I know that this process can be a little bit tedious, and so I'm here to share that information for free, and all this information can be seen also on the USCIS website as well. Awesome. With that being said, let's get into the video. The reason I wanted to do a video for this question is because I know that a lot of people have the same questions, and so I figured if I address it one time, it's also going to help somebody else that might watch the videos later and realize they also have the same question. So I looked at the question, and this question is from Julian Welsh. I'll post the question on the screen as well. So it says, what about couples that don't live together in the same country? How do they prove that their marriage is bona fide? So basically, a bona fide marriage is showing that this marriage or contract of marriage. A bona fide marriage is proving that this marriage that you entered into was entered to in genuine cause. So it wasn't entered in for the purpose of immigration, but you genuinely truly loved each other and you wanted to come together as a union to be a couple. And so immigration doesn't know you. You have to remember that. And I think I've said this in a lot of my videos. The onus is on you to prove to the immigration officer that's reviewing your case that your marriage is actually a genuine marriage. And so I took the time to list a lot of documents. I've had some of them might be the same in other of my videos, but this one is very unique because if you don't live together with a partner, then your circumstances are a little bit different. So everybody has more proof to do, but you have a little bit more proof to do because you don't live together. Awesome. So I mentioned in a lot of my videos that my husband and I were talking back when I was back in Ghana before I moved to America. So during that process when we were talking, it was at that time we used Skype. Yes, we are old people, we use Skype. And so when we were going through our 2-year green card application, we attached all of the conversations we had through Skype at that time. So I'm going to list documents that you can attach if you don't live together, but you still want to prove a bona fide marriage. Awesome. The first one, and I talked about it just recently, copies of your communication. Do not shortchange yourself. Anything that you guys talk about in text, obviously you want it to be things that are appropriate. Don't add your intimate conversations to it. It really is not. Okay, you get the message. Awesome. So add communications. You're talking back and forth. How was your day? What did you do? And so if you do a lot of video calls, it's a little bit harder to prove video calls. You might probably take a screenshot of the video call saying that you called each other, but what is going to be very, very evident, it will be more of your constant communication. Now more so than ever, a lot of people in different countries use a lot of WhatsApp, so you can take all those WhatsApp screenshots and all of the conversations that you've had to prove that you've constantly been talking to each other. Pictures with each other. And so yes, I know we just said you guys don't live together, but I would think that at some point in the relationship, one of you has flown to see each other, which will be the American spouse flying back home, because that is much easier. Obviously the woman is not here, but in cases where if the partner has been able to fly down to America before, take endless photos. I've said this before, my husband really is not a photo person. I have to literally break him apart to get a picture out of him. But when we got together, we knew that photos were some of the things that a major part of the things that was going to prove that we actually live together and we are together. So photos, if you guys have traveled to meet each other in different countries or in different parts of time, you can add it. And if Julian, you mentioned that you've been married, you both of you are married, so at some point in time you guys may have met to get married, to take photos, and so add endless pictures. And what you want to do with those photos is when you take them, you want to stay at the back of the photo. You are not, if you want to send the original photos, fine, but if you want to do photocopies, it has to be colored. So do that and then write the time and date and the purpose of that photo. So if you guys went to a family dinner, you just write family dinner, and then you can write the names, my mom's, my uncle's, at the back of the photo. Remember, they don't know you, they don't know anybody in those photos, so you have to introduce them to your family and why that trip was taken and where you guys went. You don't have to really write a research paper on the photos, you just write the date, the time, where you guys were, and all of that good stuff. Awesome. Then we're going to talk about, I talked about copies of, so I talked about if you guys have flown together somewhere, or you guys, one of the partners has flown to come see the other one, the plane tickets. Time is very expensive. In terms of making time to spend with your partner is something that is extremely cherished. And so if you're flying back and forth, the other party, whoever is doing the flying, if both of you are, you want to add your itinerary, you want to add your tickets. If you've lost it, go through your emails and find those ones and attach it to your, and find those ones and attach it to your application to show how much time you guys have been spending together. Okay, then share, so a letter to immigration. So this is what you're going to do. Again, you're not going to write a research paper, but you can at least write 1 pager or 2 pages of how your love story started. So how did you guys meet? Did you guys know each other when you were younger? Did you guys meet each other online? However the relationship started, you want to write a letter to immigration explaining how the relationship started, where you guys are at, and the circumstances behind why you're not together at the moment, but you still do love each other. So you still want to tell a story of a distance marriage, but in a very, very nice and detailed and romantic way, so that it is obviously more relatable when you add it to your application form. Also, English is not your first language and you have another language. Say you're Chinese and you speak Mandarin, whatever language that you speak, you want to get a certified copy translated into English. And so if there is a certified interpreter, which there is, you can find millions of them online these days. Find one and then have them interpret the document into English and then have that certified, so you can add the certified copy of your love letter or your love story to your application as well. Awesome. One last thing I want to talk about, and this is not the end of all of it. One last thing I want to talk about is money transfers. So typically, and we all know this, for those who are dating spouse that are overseas, one way or the other person is going to send you money, especially if you guys have kids at home, you guys have babies and family, you guys are going to exchange money. It's part of the process for the most part. So any money transfers that your partner has sent to you at your current country, you want to add all those screenshots to show that you guys are still involved financially, you guys are supporting each other. It's very important. This list is not, I wouldn't say is all that you can add, but anything. So in this particular case, an affidavit of support, basically a letter from his family, her family, saying that we do understand that this is a bona fide marriage. They've been together for X amount of time. Your stories have to all match, because if, of course, it is a true story, I would assume. So if it is true and the marriage is bona fide, you have to have your family write letters as well. So his family can write a letter saying that you guys have been together for X amount of time, you married on this day, and then this marriage is true, you guys have children together. Whatever you guys have together, or anything to prove that you guys are together from family members, I'll encourage you to do that, because again, the onus is on you to show to the immigration officer that this marriage is bona fide. So have family and friends write letters. If you guys had been invited to stop together when he came down, you guys have gone to visit friends, whatever activity you two have done together at every point in time when you met, make sure you are highlighting that to the best of your abilities. No picture is too ugly to send. No, just make sure it's appropriate. You don't want naked photos of the two of you in bed together. You just at that point you're doing too much. But to each their own. I am not an immigration lawyer, so talk to an immigration attorney if you feel that you're not sure if you can add intimate photos to it. But I'm not sure if immigration officers want to be looking at intimate photos of people, but I could be wrong. So anywho, thank you so much, Royals, for watching. I really hope that, Julian, this information helps you, and this information also helps other people who are going through the process. I know this process is very tedious, but I will say this: we can do this. Okay, let's go through it, and hopefully we will all have light at the end of the tunnel. Bye, Royals. I have to go, but take care, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye. Bye, Royals. I know. Why would I do this up close? But you got this, okay? You got this. Thank you, Julian, for the question.